Okay, we are live with Nyx vs qkieu in the semi-finals of Season 6. I'm just going to quickly grab the decks. Okay, so we have Nyx on Dragon, running the, I would say copy of Test, but I'm not sure. It looks very obvious, the 1 Assassinate instead of 3 Banzai, 1 Indomitable Will, and the standard Crab Splash with a normal Dynasty curve. And for qkieu we have on on Phoenix running test of copy, and he's running Phoenix with the new Stronghold and Dragon Splash for 3 Let Go, 1 Jade Masterpiece, and 2 Tattered Wanderer. The 1 Jade Masterpiece is a really cool addition to this deck. I actually really like that, and he has a one-off Karmic Twist, so that's something that Nyx has to be worried about. Unfortunately, I'm not known for my Phoenix, so I can't make many comments on the Dynasty deck, but I have actually played against qkieu playing this deck, and it's a very interesting deck. I know that he gets some some negative feedback for some of his Dynasty choices, but we'll see how they play out in this. Okay, tell the players that we're ready. Let me know in the chat if there's any problems with sound or anything like that. Okay, let's get going. F11. So it looks like Nyx won the coin flip and qkieu will be going first. Okay, so for qkieu we see Todaka, I can't say any of these names, Tusky, whatever, you can see the cards. So he buys as a code Tusky for 2 fate, and with no fate on it, and Nyx opens up with Investigator 3 fate and a Doom Shigenja. Now they've qkieu passed to get the passing fate and 5 bid each going into turn 1. So qkieu's looking for a slow start. I'm guessing he's going to want to sit back and defend and hope to poke Dragon Province later. But being first player, definitely not ideal in this situation, passing your first conflict. But I think it's take some time, so hopefully it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Okay, so qkieu passes his first conflict. Looks like Nyx is going to go in for a poke on Military Earth with Doom Shigenja. And he hits Manicured Garden. So qkieu decides not to defend. Maybe he has Against the Waves to battle Doomed, or just has an answer in general, or he's not concerned. See if he passes. He plays Cloud the Mind on Investigator. And this is actually a firing, I missed that. And Nyx passes, qkieu Manicure Gardens, Nyx passes, so he's not actually going to go for the break, just for the ring. Probably to honor Investigator. qkieu plays Finger of Jade on his Asako. Nyx passes and qkieu uses against waves on Doom Scavenger. Okay, Nyx plays from hand a Skirmisher with no fate, just to secure the ring. qkieu plays Shrine Maiden of his own into Conflict, revealing Let Go, and Ornate Fan and discarding all three. qkieu says GG. That was a pretty bad Shrine Maiden there. Definitely it's gonna hurt seeing both of them let go's going to the bin with no way of getting them back. Shrine Maiden can be the best or the worst, depending. Okay, so qkieu attaches Fine Katana to his Shrine Maiden, bringing it up to 3 strength and winning the conflict. Nyx passes, qkieu passes, and qkieu wins the fire 3 versus 1. Luke says in chat that you can get that goes back into your hand by decking yourself and shuffling them back into your deck. This is gonna take a while for that to happen. So qkieu's in for a long game if he wants to see more than one let go again. Okay, and now qkieu attacks on the water ring, running into Shameful Display. For political, Nyx defends with Investigator. Investigator's still got Cloud the Mind. And Nyx triggers Shameful Display, and Asako discards Finger of Jade to prevent it. Nyx plays Court Games to honor friendly character. After I missed that, qkieu also used Court Games to dishonor previously. Supernatural Storm from qkieu, and then Nyx uses Stronghold. qkieu bows his Stronghold to play Supernatural Storm again. It's currently 4-4. They pass, qkieu wins, and uses the Water Ring to unbow Shrine Maiden, and plays the Keeper from the Dynasty deck. Yeah, Luke mentioned that Shameful is definitely not the one you wanted to see there, especially when you have no fate on your characters. Yeah, I would agree. There was definitely obviously better things, but I guess I don't know how many cards he had in hand. Yeah, I guess the resto was really what he was looking for there. Okay, sorry, I'm not paying attention, but basically the pass out the rest of that turn. qkieu gains the favor, and he decides to keep Tadaka. Nyx keeps one of his Mere Mystics. But I mean, looking at the board, and I mean, definitely qkieu could be argued to be a bit behind, but it's definitely not in the worst spot. Claiming the favor was really good, as I believe he runs Censor. He has a 1-0 Censor, and didn't get the big brain Kanjo flip. So Nyx buys Ratsugu with 3 fate, the standard dragon, 3 cost for 3 fate. And Nyx should definitely be described as having a dominant board. It's just a question whether he sees his let go to discard the Cloud the Mind on his Investigator. Okay, so qkieu buys Tadaka with 4 fate. It's a big investment, especially as he goes down to 1 fate in bin and Nyx gets the first pass. qkieu's definitely seeing that he needs to play the long game now. Currently the only card Tadaka has off is court games. The players are chatting about the 4 fate play and qkieu says that it's desperate times. Nyx bids 1, qkieu bids 5. Very off-meta dragon play there. Now 7 to 8 card size for Nyx taking 8. I mean, you could say that Nyx didn't need the cards, but I don't see him pushing Honor in the long run. So let's see how that works out for him. Okay, so he initiates a military conflict. Nyx initiates a military conflict Earthring at Manicure Garden, taking 1 fate from the ring with Ratsugu. So one thing is the Manicure Garden lets qkieu gain a fate and potentially turn on Display of Power. qkieu does not defend Manicure Garden for 1 fate. Nyx passes, not threatening the break. Nyx clearly wants to just farm this province for a while. I mean, yeah, Meditations and Shameful definitely don't want to be hit, but qkieu seems to be thinking about what to do. Okay, he passes. qkieu does play Display of Power to gain the Earthring, and Nyx discards a Finger of Jade. That ensures that Tadaka stays on for the rest of the game. He attaches Magnificent Kumino. I don't know what the hell that says. That gives his character pride now. Elemental Mage saying that this game seems fairly over. Oh man, Feast of Famine. So, yeah, Tadaka runs in to avoid military and hits Feast of Famine. This is definitely backbreaking. Nyx passes and does not play a character from hand. Wow. But he does have favourable ground, so it's definitely no problem. I mean, Nyx passing with no character here means that he can just let it break. I would have thought Nyx had to play a card there. That's definitely super strong for qkieu getting to break there. Nyx said he was punished for bidding 1. I mean, that's definitely the downside. Nyx runs 5 characters. And qkieu gets to resolve the Void Ring on Ratsugu and uses Against the Waves to stand Tadaka, and is honored from Pride. This is definitely really great for qkieu, having Feast broken on the turn it's flipped is, especially when you have 4 fate in a character, it's definitely unheard of in the dragon matchup. Nyx chooses to pass his conflict, and he's gonna have a hard time defending anyway. So qkieu looking for Resto, hits Resto with 5 in the hand, so he only has to discard 1. Secret Fire Fate is already turned off. Nyx discards Assassinate. This is definitely exactly what you wanted to see here. He really didn't want to hit mana Q Garden on this turn. So Nyx defends with Investigator and use Let Go on Cloud the Mind. qkieu doesn't have another Cloud the Mind, so he just passes. Luke commenting on the one bid and that Mind Desire will punish him for that. Investigator looks at qkieu's hand. We have Clarity of Purpose, Let Go, Supernatural Storm. Nyx discards the Let Go, and that's the third Let Go for qkieu into the bin. Players having friendly banter. I mean, this is, yeah, okay, so Restoration breaks. qkieu gains 2 honor, takes the Imperial favor. Keeps the Imperial favor in political. Nyx comments that he's made a mistake here, that he could have used Cloud the Mind to buff the Investigator before let going it, using his Stronghold. I would have put him 4 to 7. Okay, so we've moved into turn 3 now. Nyx, not the best flop, definitely. Like, Yukuni is basically a no play. Your Rumor is not very strong playing from hand here. There's nothing apart from Shameful Display that doesn't really help. Neat and Adapt and Togashi Initiate. We see qkieu play Solemn Scholar with 1 Fate. Also not a massively powerful flop. Okay, so Nyx does play Yukuni for 2 Fate. qkieu uses Forgotten Library and then both players bid 5. qkieu also brought My Mystic with 1 Fate. So I think the board is still in Nyx's favor, but with Yukuni out, it's definitely might as well not be there. Just a Shigenja trait, especially as he doesn't have Sensor on. But he can copy Investigator's ability, and then in the same conflict, both of them can use their ability, which is a nice dragon play, but Yukuni will be bad, and with no stand abilities to copy, it's definitely a hard buy for Nyx, I think. Yeah, so Luke's commenting that the May Mystic with 1 Fate is there to deny the reprieve for the next turn on either Investigator or Ratsugu. And saying that Nyx should resolve Void to try and get momentum back. That's definitely good if he can Void the Mystic or Cloud the Mind or use his one of Assassinate. But unnecessary to use Assassinate probably. qkieu's just gone to the bathroom, so we're taking a short break here. How does chat feel about the game? Who do you think is favoured at this point? Nefrel, sorry if I've pronounced your name wrong. I'm terrible at reading. Says that it could be a rough turn if Nyx doesn't have a Finger of Jade to stop Yukuni getting sat down. Luke commenting that it's going to be hard for qkieu to seal it out before Nyx wins, but this could still be really bad. Okay, so straight out the door we see qkieu playing against the waves on Yukuni, and Jade Masterpiece onto Tadaka, using Jade Masterpiece to move the Fate from the Fire Ring to the Water Ring, and Nyx plays a Fine Katana. Oh, Nyx plays, qkieu plays Cloud Mine on Investigator again. It's definitely qkieu kind of taking control of the board there, and yeah, Nyx not seeing or pre-playing the Finger of Jade could really hurt there. And we see all-in attack, political, into Manicure Gardens with Watering, and we know that qkieu has 2 Clarity of Purposes in his hand. So he could definitely get the break here and remain standing. The Water Ring doesn't really have any targets, but denying it from Nyx so that he can stand Yukuni is definitely not a bad thing. Yeah, Luke saying that Earthring would have probably been better. Was the so he took 1 fate off the Fire Ring. Yeah. But yeah, so Earthring to turn on Solemn Scholar's ability could have definitely been a play with the Earthring, 1 fate on it. But it's weak to Cloud the Mind or Assassinate, like Luke said. Yeah, I forgot about that. He's got like 1 keeper, right? Yeah. So yeah, he's gone for the additional fate and the keeper. And gets the 3rd break. Did he use Clarity of Purpose? I missed. Yeah, he did, right? 1 Clarity of Purpose on Tadaka. And brings the keeper into play. So chat comment on that definitely the fire or the earth ring were strong plays there as well. But it seems qkieu definitely does value the keeper. Now Nyx has to be a little careful because qkieu could just ignore the defense and play as 1 of 2 Tattered Wanderers that he hasn't seen yet, and go straight for Stronghold here. But as it's political and he has another Clarity of Purpose, it looks like he's going to defend anyway. He had 2 in hand when we saw his hand, so Nyx really kind of letting him do that for free because, oh wow, and it flips Meditation's a Tau, so losing a fate on the Investigator. Nyx. Yeah, so Luke also commented that it's weird that Nyx attacks here with the 2 Clarity of Purpose, especially in political, and I totally agree with this. Now he loses the fate on Investigator, he loses the conflict. Yeah, so qkieu plays the 2nd Clarity of Purpose. And yeah, Reprieve's going to be a really hard stick with Mystic on the table for qkieu. So even if he doesn't win this turn, the Investigator's probably still going to leave. And yeah, he's played. Okay, so he's played one Storm that's been removed from the game. So definitely, I don't know if he had a Storm in his hand. Yeah, he still has a Supernatural Storm in his hand. So yeah, he's going for the Stronghold here. Military. Nyx doesn't flip because he's only got Rasugu to defend with. So this is definitely going to be really difficult for Nyx right here to defend. He has the Finger of Jade onto Ratsugu. We're currently at 8 to 5, so not breaking. And this is the Earth Ring contested. Maybe the Void was potentially a good play here. I could have seen the Void. Yep, so qkieu plays Supernatural Storm to go up to 11. Nyx uses Stronghold to go up to 7. Luke commented that Double Storm is definitely going to be strong here. Yep, so qkieu bows the Stronghold to use Supernatural Storm to go to 14. And Rally the Cause is breaking. Okay, so now we see the Tattooed Wanderer from hand from Nyx into the conflict to prevent the break. qkieu uses Mare Mystic to discard the Fire Katana. Definitely going for the break here. Okay, so Ratsugu's dueling the Keeper, both bid 1. Keeper loses a fate. Doesn't change the break, and Nyx says GG. Wow, so that was crazy. Considering the start from qkieu was really hard. Like he really played that really well with Tadaka for 4 fate. Could have been backbreaking, hitting Feast of Famine, but Nyx bidding 1 and not having any characters in hand basically gave qkieu the opportunity to really go at it. It looks like Nyx had nothing in his hand but 2 Sensors and 3 Cloud Demands. Yeah, okay, look, I'll do that. Okay. Still further commenting that Yukuni is probably a mistake, and that even Uroma was better there. Okay, so I'm gonna sign off now. I will chat to the players, but thank you for watching and tuning in. I hope my cast isn't terrible. Apologies for mispronouncing like every name. That's just my thing. Feel free to come back in future to watch me butcher more names. Alright, thanks guys.